Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And like others who have spoken, I want to offer my sincere thanks to both the chairs of Housing and Planning Development, as well as the ranking members. Despite the disagreements that we have here on the floor, we do have a lot of productive conversations in rooms, around conference tables, and in the meetings that perhaps the public doesn't get to see. And I'm really proud of being able to work with folks across the aisle, even if they can't support the final product. It is informed by their perspectives and by their good ideas, and I appreciate and thank them for contributing to it. And if you live in Connecticut, you're spending a significant amount of your income right now on housing. Housing, right? One of the most basic needs that we all have. If you are working class, if you are middle class, if you are upper middle class in some parts of this state, you are housing cost burdened. That's just a reality. And when you have to spend so much of your income on that basic need of housing, and then you add in transportation, for far too many people in the state of Connecticut, that is more than 50% of the income that they make in a year. That leaves whatever you have left for food, for health insurance, for other basic needs, God forbid, a vacation for your family. And I will note that the end result of unaffordable housing, the end result of limited housing production, the end result of not investing in deeply affordable housing is homelessness. The issue of housing is a continuum. People have questioned whether this bill will get there. If we don't produce housing, people just simply don't have a place to live, and we need to do something about that. And I know that's something that people on both sides of the aisles really deeply do care about. There is broad bipartisan consensus that we have an affordability problem. There's no shortage of organizations in state and nationally who provide data on the extent of the affordability crisis and note how restrictive our land use processes are. These organizations also make clear that what so many of these impediments are to making progress in addressing the cost of housing. These are not impediments unique to Connecticut. What is unique to Connecticut is that we continue to be steady in our habits. We continue to rely on the status quo, which is what got us here today. And that's an over-reliance on outdated systems and processes. This is not about the people who serve on planning and zoning commissions. I value their service to the state, I value their service to the communities, but they are simply operating with outdated systems and outdated processes. And we as a state legislature, who have control over the Zoning Enabling Act, which provides the rights and responsibilities for planning and zoning commissions to do the work that they do, we have the ability to provide the parameters by which planning and zoning should operate at the local level, and that's what this bill does. But it does not take away local control. This bill makes significant investments in local control by investing in our public housing authorities. Those are the people who make up those governing bodies, live in those very same communities, and these are the entities who are building deeply affordable housing, which is going to help, for those who need to get there, help you reach your 8-30G goals in your moratorium. This bill makes other changes to 8-30G, providing additional opportunities to work towards the goals of a moratorium. As was noted by the ranking members, we have pledged to review the denominator issue in 8-30G. As you build more housing, your goal keeps going up higher, and some communities are never going to reach that 10%. I've acknowledged that that's a problem, and I pledge to work in the off-season with whoever would like to work on that issue to review it, explore it, and come back next session and see if we can solve for that. As was noted by others, just this past week, the CBIA Foundation for Economic Growth and Opportunity noted in their report the economic impact of Connecticut's housing shortage, that Connecticut is the second most restrictive state in terms of housing development regulations. If you wonder how we got here, one should read that report and look at what it is that they identify that are the problems to addressing the housing affordability issue. They note as suggested solutions, zoning reform to allow for transit-oriented development. This bill does that. They suggested upzoning for middle housing. This bill does that. They suggested eliminating minimum parking requirements. This bill moves us in that direction. If our business leaders and our businesses are really speaking out and highlighting the concerns they have about the housing affordability crisis, it might behoove us to actually listen to them too. There is a lot that we can't control when it comes to housing. We can't produce more land, we can't control the cost of lumber, we don't control interest rates, but there are many things we can do if we have the political will to act. This bill is but a step in the direction that is needed to adequately address what has long been a running crisis. And as I have feared for some time, if we continue to do nothing today, 10 years from now, our communities and the people we represent will be in a far more precarious position if we do nothing, and that's why I urge passage.